Hello everyone and welcome to another video. As many of you know, I'm an American who's living in Sweden, and it has taken quite some time to adjust and to feel included here in Sweden. And if I'm being totally honest, I still don't feel totally included here in Sweden. I don't know if I ever will because I'm not Swedish. I didn't grow up here. I grew up in another country. I'm used to totally different culture, totally different types of personalities. American people are much different to Swedish people, so I don't know if I ever will feel totally included here in Sweden, but there are some things that I have done and that I wanted to give you guys some tips on if you are struggling to feel included here in Sweden. To start out, not speaking Swedish in Sweden is very difficult, and this is probably the main thing that causes us to feel like we're not included in society. And that's why I love this website that I just found. It is called Redia, and they deliver the Swedish news in English, Spanish, and Swedish, and Chinese. So it has a lot of languages covered, so you are able to read the Swedish news in hopefully your language, or if not your own language, then at least in English, so you can understand the news that's happening in Sweden where you live. This video is also sponsored by Redia, and I want to say a big thank you to them and a big thank you for just making this website so that us expats can feel a little bit more included and actually know what's going on in Sweden. So Redia has a free newsletter that you can sign up for. Just go online. You can actually click the link in the description box below this video, and it's totally free. But enter your email and then you can choose what type of news articles that you're interested in, so they know what articles to send to your inbox. And they cover all types of topics, headlines from politics to environmental issues. I like to read the news in the morning on the bus on the way into work, but since I don't read Swedish, I was always reading the American news, which is great, but you know, I don't live in the US, I live in Sweden, so it's great to actually know what's happening here in Sweden. With Redia, I can read the news and talk to my colleagues, my coworkers about issues that are happening in Sweden. This is a big way to feel included in Sweden because Swedes are very aware of what's going on in the news, in politics, in the world, in their own country. So definitely feeling like you are part of the conversation and you know what they're talking about is a big, big thing that can help you feel more included. And as I mentioned, you guys can sign up. Just click the link below and you will get access to Redia's free newsletter. They also have an app so you can read the news wherever you want and hopefully feel more included. The second tip that I have to feel more included is to find a job in Sweden because I wasn't working in like a company for a few months. I was doing social media, which is great. It's so fun, but it's really hard to meet people when you're working from home. So actually going to an office and working with colleagues, you're going to make friends, you're going to talk to people, and this is a huge, huge benefit to feel more included in Sweden. As an adult in general, I think it's so hard to make friends. It's kind of the same with like dating, where you don't know how to date because everything's online, and you don't know how to make friends because everything's online. So honestly, if you don't have a job or if you don't go to school, how are you going to feel included? I mean, you don't just go out and meet people. Like, who talks to strangers? Stranger danger is real. I'm joking. I love talking to strangers, but definitely having a job is a huge, huge way to feel more included in Sweden. Volunteering is also an amazing way to feel more included, so you can work with projects that are happening in your community, talk to the Red Cross, see what they have going on, and you're going to meet people who have similar interests, also are very passionate about volunteering, and this is a big way to help feel more included also. As I said, not speaking Swedish is a huge, huge thing that makes you feel not included, so the best way to combat that issue is to actually learn Swedish. So you can join SFE, you can also do an online course. I did an online course with a company called Fun Swedish that I will link their info below also. But I had been on the waiting list for SFE for a few months and I still hadn't heard back from them. So in the meantime, I did an online course and it definitely helped with learning Swedish. I'm definitely not like fluent in Swedish. I can understand a lot, but speaking is another challenge, but I'm doing the best I can. But I actually didn't realize how well I understood Swedish until lately when I'm with people who don't speak Swedish at all, and I'm also like, no, I can't speak Swedish, and then people start speaking Swedish and I can speak Swedish, and I'm like, why am I doubting myself so much? But yes, learning Swedish is a huge way to feel included, because you are going to know what people are talking about around you, and you can jump in on conversations, you can read the signs, you can read everything around you. I mean, it's like life-changing once you understand Swedish. There's also språk cafes you can go to, like language cafes, where it's people who are also learning Swedish, and you go and sit with them and just basically practice Swedish with each other. I am lucky because my partner speaks Swedish, so we can practice at home, but if you live with someone who doesn't speak Swedish, or if you live alone and you don't speak Swedish, then it's very difficult to practice. So I would recommend trying a språk cafe in and around Malmo. Another way to feel more included is to learn the Swedish culture, celebrate the Swedish holidays, participate in Swedish cultural traditions. Ridia will actually send you updates when there is a Swedish event or Swedish holiday happening. They'll be included in the daily newsletters that you get sent to your inbox. Midsummer is probably the most well-known Swedish holiday, where it's at the beginning of summer and it's basically a celebration of summer, I think. And you go to a park with your friends or go to somebody's house and eat a lot of food and drink and dance and wear flowers in your hair, and it's super fun. So participating in things like that is a great way to feel more included. And the last piece of advice I have is to share your local traditions and cultures with your friends here in Sweden, so that they can learn about you and you can learn about them in return. Because friendship and feeling more included is a two-way street. It's not all about take, or give. It's a give and take type of relationship. So the more that you know about them and the more that they know about you, you'll form a tighter bond, you'll feel more included, you'll make better friendships. So really open up about your culture, your traditions, and celebrate them. I celebrated Thanksgiving here, and it was great to tell people about the American tradition of Thanksgiving, to cook traditional American food, and when people learn about your culture, they'll appreciate it more, as well as you will appreciate their culture more. I hope this video helped you guys. You got some tips on how you can feel more included in Sweden. Definitely don't forget to check out Ridia and sign up for their free newsletter so you can get the Swedish news in your language. If you guys have any other tips or suggestions, feel free to leave them in the comments or send me a message on Instagram and let me know what you would like to see in future videos. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good day. Hey do. Bye.